Matt,
Uh,
how in the world are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I didn't feel like Thanksgiving was last week.
It was.
It should be this week. I liked it a lot more. I had 2 days off. I've been good in the sense that I'm physically alive, and I guess also mentally alive. Had some fun car problems pop up, but thankfully I work in a garage.
Where they take care of that sort of thing.
Yes, it's very nice. It ended up staying in the garage one day more because the guy who was my alternator died, so I had to get a new one put in. And when he took the bad alternator out, he noticed that my steering fluid was leaking everywhere.
Oh.
So he took out the tube that the fluid went through to the pump, and he put a new one in, and that didn't help. So he tried to take the pump out to look at what it was, and ended up breaking the pump. Probably even more than it already was, because he had thought that the pump was broken, or there was something like wrong, but he thought it may have been something he could have fixed there. But since he'd broken something that like attached to wherever it goes in there, so he had to order me a new pump, which I don't think I have to pay for that. So that's nice. But I have the alternator. He put in there was a transmission switch that he had to put in for me so that I could pass MARTA and get my tags, which started the whole thing. I had gone in to get my tags, and a code popped up for my transmission. Needed that, and then a week later, my alternator died.
Nice.
So yeah, everything just kind of snowballed. But got it all done. Passed through MARTA. Got a new plate. Took my mom's name off the title, so it's just mine on there. So they had to give me a new plate. That also cost extra when I got the tags.
Oh, yes. They will very happily charge you extra.
Yes, the lady was also not very happy that my mom wasn't there, because she signed the title and she needed to be there too in order to sign off on it. And I told her, I was like, look, she's working. I need to do this now because our schedules don't line up. And she was like, fine. It's very nice lady. Yeah, right before Christmas. Something.
Merry Christmas, Matt.
And this is like the third year in a row that something has gone wrong with my car around the holiday season.
I'm sure it's getting cooler in theory.
That should be helping it.
Some days.
Should be helping it. Not
No.
making it worse.
It's the temperature's changing. That makes metal do funny things.
That should make it do good things, not bad. It's actually very slow. Apparently Christmas is a very slow time of year. And I can definitely see the difference between working in the summer and working now.
Yeah.
There's a lot less traffic at night, but that will cost some money. So that's fun. And then other bills. All fun. Being an adult's real fun.
It's not fun, kids.
It's super fun.
Run
Good
away
time
to
about it.
Neverland.
Yeah, if you can. Run and don't look back. It's totally worth it. Yeah. As far as life goes, as far as running away into video game land, where nothing can hurt you. I got Pokemon Ultra Moon. Been playing that a whole bunch. I haven't beaten it yet. And I've put in not just as many hours, but almost as many hours as it took me to beat Sun when it first came out. Which has surprised me. But I've been doing a bunch of the new stuff that's come out just because I want to see it all and do it all.
So tell me, what is the difference? It's not a sequel, right?
No, it's kind of like Black and White 2, where it's basically just in like another dimension.
Another dimension.
That a lot of the sequels are kind of like told like that. And in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they kind of confirmed that there are like other like worlds or other versions of
The Pokemon
Earth, I guess is what they live on. There's other versions of Earth, and like each version has like a different thing. And it's like that's why like I think they said there's like something in like, you know, there's another dimension where like seas rise. There's another dimension where like the land takes over. It was talking about like Groudon, Kyogre, like Team Magma, Team Aqua like taking over, and then a bunch of other stuff. So the many worlds theory exists in the Pokemon universe.
It's so lazy to do that. It's just lazy.
Well, there's a parallel dimension where it's kind of like this one, except for some very important details.
It's just lazy writing. I hate that
I
route.
mean, that's basically what like every Pokemon game is.
No, it's a different region. Same world. Everything's taking place on the same planet, I assumed.
Well, in each version, there are some Pokemon that are exclusive to each version. So it's like in the
You know what they
in
call-
this version,
No,
those don't exist.
that is a marketing ploy, sir.
No, it's in the lore. It's
It's
canon.
a marketing ploy.
It's canon.
Oh my goodness.
Just like in one world, Ash is the protagonist, and the other, Red is the protagonist.
Well, that I can accept that simply because we're talking about the difference between an anime version of something and a game version of something.
It's all the same.
It's like Sonic X is not the same as the Sonic continuity.
I'm curious in where Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon Shadow XD take place.
Well, they're probably, like, each and every game is probably in its own little pocket dimension. How fun is that?
Final Fantasy?
Yeah, but they're like the originators of it.
Yeah, but they were the first ones.
I mean, the whole thing with, like, okay, who cares who Red is up on the mountain? See, Red is the true...
Everyone. That is one of the coolest boss fights ever.
But I'm just saying, Red is the true trainer because no matter... Let me ask you this. Is it Red that you face in Gold, Silver, and
Crystal?
Crystal? Is it?
Yes.
Well, okay then. That's the continuity. That's like with Infamous, where there's a good ending and a bad ending, and your choices determine which way it goes. Only one of those endings is canon. The other one is an alternate storyline that doesn't go anywhere because it doesn't go into the next game.
It's another world. I can argue
It's
this.
lazy
I can argue.
writing.
It's many worlds.
Lazy.
The tiniest difference could be between one world and another.
Many lazy writings.
Call it lazy. Some
I
people
am.
call it science. Maybe. I don't know. There's no real evidence. that
There's
the
no
many
evidence.
worlds theory
Exactly.
exists.
But anyway.
Concept is cool. This game is also pretty
So you're
cool.
telling me this is an alternate dimension of
Not an
the-
alternate dimension. There are alternate dimensions in the game.
Oh, no.
But no, I mean, like, there was the same thing in Sun and Moon. There was another dimension that you could travel to. That's where the Ultra Beast came from.
So the world that the Ultra Beasts come from, is this the same world that the games Ultra Sun and Moon take place in?
No.
Then I'm done. Don't explain it to me. It's far more complicated than I thought it might be. Okay, move on from Pokemon.
So easy.
It's not
fun.
easy.
It's pretty easy. It's
I am
fun.
so glad I quit with Gen 1. I'm giving Gen 2 a chance, but I don't think I'll go any further.
Oh, they're fun. But yeah, did that. My Super Mario Odyssey Super Guide fame.
Is that what it's actually called? The Super
It's
Guide?
not. It's called the Super Guide. That'd be kind of cool. But this
Should be.
there was a smaller version, and then there was this version, and this version has like it has a globe, but it's all like it's shiny.
Embossed on the cover.
Yeah, it gleams in the light, which is pretty cool. It also tells you like everything in every world, which is nice because apparently you can buy like little like pamphlets or like a book for each place. It's like a smaller book,
Like a real book?
yeah. And there's a book for like each place that you can buy, or you could get this.
Or you can get this.
And this was like, I got this from Amazon, and it was like $28.
I think
like
it's worth it.
3 to 5 day shipping.
See, the thing about game guides is it adds an extra dimension to what you're doing. Yes, you are just getting information about what to do where, but if you wanted that kind of experience, you can just go onto GameFAQs and look up a guide that way. But when you do that, like you've got extra artwork to look at, you've got reading involved, it makes it a more pleasant experience in some cases. I'm saying I like guides for games.
I can tell.
Not every game, but some.
There are very few games that I end up buying guides for, because most of them, if I want to find something like a collectible or something, I'll just like look at a YouTube video. But that has
A lot.
yes. Also, it gave me something to use my $30 Amazon card on. Granted, I probably could have got something a bit more useful in life, but whatever.
Like a steering pump. Steering
That
fluid
would
pump.
probably cost more than $30.
Would have helped.
Also, I wouldn't have gotten it from Amazon. But yeah, that's what I got, and I don't think I got anything else. No, just played Super Mario. I got 500 moons. Past 500 moons. I'm at 500, and I actually got one more moon. Before, oh yeah, the Switch. I got the
You mean you weren't playing Super Mario Odyssey on the 2DS?
no.
What?
Just playing it on the Nintendo laptop. But
On the Nintendo pad.
yeah.
The N pad.
What's a computer? Shut up,
I'm going to go back to typing very rudely and not wait for you to answer.
pretentious child.
That would be mugged. Hey, kid, let me see that iPhone thing you got.
No.
What's a phone?
Okay, no. If someone said that to me, just pick up like the closest gross wet thing and throw it at their face, and then find the closest bathroom because gross.
So, pick up your Switch and turn it to face me. And hold it out. I didn't prep you for this.
This is my Switch.
This is my Switch.
No, it
Yeah.
can only be one. Are we annoying you yet? Is this annoying?
So yeah, I got a Switch also. Mine was a gift. If you're not watching this on YouTube, I have the same trick cereal colored Joy-Con Switch edition. I mean, it doesn't really matter. They come off. But yeah, I got the same color combination that you did because it was a gift. I didn't buy it myself. It was an early Christmas gift.
There's nothing wrong with them. You act.
I just prefer the gray.
I want it to be gray and black.
I just prefer the gray. And I'm not going to go out and spend, $90 for a pair of gray Joy-Cons. That's not happening, Nintendo.
Is it? I thought it was 70.
No, that's for the Pro Controller, which I actually got on sale. They had a Cyber Monday deal for it. It's not the most comfortable controller. It is very thick. The buttons are, especially the plus minus screen capture home buttons, they're very small and spread out. But the action buttons are quite large. They're a good deal bigger than the Joy-Con buttons, which we actually determined. We found out that the 3DS has larger buttons
It does.
than the Switch does. Like, they are noticeably larger. It's unmistakable when you compare the two.
It's really funny.
I also picked up of course, there's a screen protector on there. If you have a Switch, you don't have the screen protector, you are insane. A case, and also got a 200 gig SD card. Also on sale for like $50. So, but I have no games for it. Which literally made a coworker of mine angry at me. They're like, you spent all this money on accessories for this thing, but you have nothing to play in it. And I said, yes. They were like, I'm mad. I'm so mad I am tempted to go out and buy you a game. And I said, you may do so. But I can't buy any games until after Christmas. Because people may buy a game for me.
I was going to say, I was thinking about getting Breath of the Wild and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I thought about getting it today. Because
Good.
it came out today. Xenoblade Chronicles, that is. But I will need to wait for a few more checks before I can do that.
Right.
But I think my brother... I think what's going to happen is I think he's going to get me Breath of the Wild, and then I'm planning on getting him... Oh. No, I can't say that. He watches these.
He does?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Never mind.
That's one regular watcher we've got.
I'll be getting him a present for Christmas.
But now he's not going to get you Breath of the Wild. Because he knows you're expecting it.
He'll still get it.
Way to shoot yourself in the foot, Matt.
It's okay. Well, I already have a feeling if he won't, he'll probably tell my mom to do it.
Hey, Mom, you do it.
Yeah, you do it.
So as far as what I've been playing, I don't think I mentioned this on the podcast, but I played Super Mario World on the 3DS. And I have to say, I'm definitely a Super Mario Brothers 3 preference person. If that's a term that I just made up. But yeah, I prefer Super Mario Brothers 3 to World. And it's not because of the different power-ups, because there's a ton of power-ups in 3. It's just longer. I just feel like it's a longer game. The levels are definitely shorter in Super Mario Brothers 3. But World just goes by so fast. Like, I feel like you can get past the first fortress in like under 10 minutes. It's a really short game. The first fortress out of 8, mind you, in the game. Like, after 10 minutes, you're 1/8 through the game. And I know, like, back in 1991 when this game came out, that's actually a very long game. It was a big game for back then. But I'm just like, man, we're so spoiled now with how much content is in our game.
I'd forgotten how long it took to beat. You know, I forgot how long it took to beat Mega Man X, and then when I had done it, it took me a while because I wanted to get everything. So when I went back and got my extra E-tanks and heart containers, I realized it only took me about maybe an hour and a half to beat the whole game.
I will say this: the game made me feel very confident in my retro gaming skills because my lives as Mario was like into the 60s before I died once. So, not too bad. And then I think I made the mistake of saving it, leaving the game because I just left it in sleep mode for the most part. I saved it, reloaded it, and it dropped me back to 5 lives. Like, you little stinker. It's like you're saving all this information. You can't save the number of lives that I had?
Well, you didn't need them.
Oh my goodness. No, I didn't, but still. That is something fun to see, like, how many lives I could finish the game with.
You could just keep a counter.
Although some games stop at 9. But you keep getting more. It just doesn't show you them.
Which I think is silly.
It is. It's like,
You can program it counting it past 9, but you can't program
know
it
how-
actually counting 9.
do you know how large score numbers got? And those saved on arcade games? So yeah, beat Super Mario World. And also beat Metroid Prime 2 on the Wii Metroid Trilogy collection thingy. So I think I won't retread my thoughts, but the final boss was really cool. The final boss was so much better than Metroid Prime 1's boss. Metroid Prime 1's boss, I think, is terrible. I don't know if you've played those games, have you? I mean, it seemed like Metroid Prime 1, maybe I was missing something like a strategy, but it just loses health so slowly. And with Metroid Prime 2, I didn't use a guide or anything, and I just eventually figured out what I needed to do and like what weak spots needed to be hit. And it makes you almost use all of your abilities. It's like a 4-stage fight. And the 4th stage, you're under a time limit. And you have to keep switching between what kind of weapons you're using. It's just done really well. I beat it my first try. It made me feel really cool. Made me feel like, you know, I'm a galactic bounty hunter hunting aliens. Of course, lackluster ending. No Nintendo game has a good ending. Period. They're all just no surprises, no twists, just, oh, you saved everyone, Samus. Leave the planet. Link, you saved Zelda. Congratulations. You brought Peach back. Mario, you saved Peach. Huh?
For a while. Now she's in another castle.
Yes. So those are the 2 games that I beat. And I've moved on the 3DS to Project Cross Zone. You ever heard of this game?
I have heard of that game.
It's very, very good. Although, graphically speaking, this thing could have been on the original DS. Easily. It is a tactical RPG. Again, that's not a genre that I play really much of. But what hooks you with this game is the battle system. You just feel so overpowered in this game. You can still be killed if you're, not careful. I think I'm on like chapter 7 I think there might be about 20 or so chapters in the game, but it has yet to get really difficult. The only time where it's hard is there's like one character you can't lose, and if you lose that character, it's game over. And if you're reckless, you'll get a game over. But most of the time, it's just like, oh, you've got like a dozen people on your team, and they're all amazing. Don't let them die. All of them. Or you die. And there's a good amount of voice acting in it. And I guess the real draw is it's a combination, it's a huge crossover game involving Capcom characters, Sega characters, and Namco Bandai characters. You won't be seeing Sonic or Tails in this because what they wanted to do is keep it to just human-looking characters. So yes, you do have Mega Man X, you've got Zero, they're on a team, and that's the other thing about it. Everyone is teamed up with someone. I think Chun-Li is teamed up with Morrigan, Ryu and Ken are teamed up together. Akira is teamed up with someone else from Virtua Fighter. It kind of works that way. And then you have support characters, and if you're next to another character, you can call them into battle. So you could basically have like 5 people on the screen at once just beating up a singular enemy, and it looks amazing. Like, they do crazy stuff. It's sprite work with 3D backgrounds. And like I said, there's a lot of voiceover work in this game, but it's all in Japanese. And of course, English dubbed, English subtitles or whatever. And it's not that annoying. That kind of stuff normally bothers me, but it's all performed really well. So it's a whole lot better than
The Banjo-Kazooie speech.
Yes, the curse. Yeah, I don't mind that there's no English voice acting in this. There's a ton of voice acting in it. And check it out. I mean, there's a second one out for this also. It's probably the same thing. Story makes no sense. I'm 7 chapters in after 5 prologue chapters, and they keep trying to explain and clarify what's happening. No one knows what's going on. There's just rifts opening with monsters from different games coming in, and you go to the different environments, and no one knows what's going on. They're in the past, they're in the future, they're in an alternate timeline, both in the past and in the future. It's just... The one thing that bothers me about the story, though, is some characters from different franchises act like they know each other, when I know for a fact they haven't met. Like, I think someone from, like, the Namco Bandai universe acts like they know Tron Bonne from Mega Man Legends. No, you don't know who that is. You don't know her. Don't act like you know her. That kind of stuff is like, eh. But the story in general is pretty ridiculous. And the other game I started playing, which is a game I've had for years, I've been trying to get to a point where I can play it, White Knight Chronicles 2 for PS3. The only complaint I have about this game so far is it looks exactly like the first game. It recycles environments. It recycles skills. It's basically, it's not a 2, it's a part 2. It's not a sequel, it's just a continuation of the first game. It's like an expansion. And actually, if you can find this version of the game, I have no idea if this is common or rare, but they actually included with the second game the entire first game. So don't get the first game, just get this one and you're covered. And this version of the first game actually corrects some flaws from the first game, so it's definitely the one to get. It's an RPG, but kind of in the style of Final Fantasy XII. Like, you control one character, and everyone else is AI controlled in your party. And as the gauge fills up, you just do actions. You can move around, but It's all very integrated, exploring, and battles. And you can transform into a giant knight. That part's cool. It's a pretty easy RPG also. And that's all I got.